What's up, guys? Today we're going to be looking at the Taiwan Regional League tournament that happened. I'm not going to say that word, but it had 1,700 person players playing a best of one regional format all the way through top cut of top 16 onwards. And this was played in the new Scarlet and Violet format that we will be having for EUIC and moving forward into. So this could be a lot of really important information for you guys. Not all the lists are out just yet, but we're going to kind of look at what decks did well. 9-2 was the record that you needed to make top cut. A lot of hard work you had to do to get there. The first seed was Gardevoir EX, so it's a very interesting deck. 15th seed, Mew VMAX Flying Pika, something similar to what Andrew Mahone has been piloting recently. We had a lot of Lost Zone box making their way into top cut, and Lugia still well and alive. So let's jump into some of the lists that we know. Here we have the champion Lost Zone box list, playing something that I think we're all pretty familiar with, playing a list that's very similar to what Azul Garcia Griego won the Oceania International Championships with, playing stock standard Lost Box, Dragonite, Drapion, Raikou. No copies of Sky Sealed Stone, which is probably the most interesting lack of in the deck. No Pokestop as well, but playing 3 copies of Vacuum for somewhat of a turbo engine. The Beach Court giving us a pseudo turbo engine with 4 switch card, 4 rope, because we no longer have Scoop Up Net, because we no longer have Air Balloon. And there is no more Ordinary Rod. That's the most important thing to realize, that Lost Box loses is Ordinary Rod. That card is no longer in the format, so Clara has to become the most feasible replacement. Clara plus Recycler will take the spot of a lot of these cards in Lost Zone box. And this was our champion winning list. Nothing super special about the list. 5-3-2 on the energies at the bottom. I don't think there's much to say about it besides that it's Lost Box. Here was our finalist list. There's a lot of bling here, so we're going to walk through this slowly. We can see that there is a 2-2 Cramp and Sableye up here, a Cry of Celebrations, or Cry of Destruction Evital. Not 100% sure what this card is here. This is a Greninja. These are 2 Manaphy's. There's a Drapion, a Luminion, a Zapdos V with a Sky Seal Stone here. So we're seeing the Drapion plus Sky Seal Stone package making its way into the finals. Only 3 copies of Mirage Gate. We see a Roxanne here, 2 Clara, 1 Recycler. We also do see the Collapse Stadium as well as the 2 Beach Court, and then the energy split is the 4-3-2. I just wish I knew what this card was here. But another iteration of Lost Box playing its own individual attacks. I think Galarian Zapdos V gets a lot weaker because you can't get the reduction of attack damage on EX Pokemon, but I guess Galarian Zapdos is just very, very strong against Arceus decks, for example. And maybe like if Lugia floods their board, you can kind of cheese a little bit and take out a Tyranitar, which is also really probably good in that matchup. And this was the 3rd place list. I don't know why it's so... the quality is so low. It's just, I think, the Twitter crop. Yeah, we'll just work with it. Gardevoir EX making its way into the top 4. Starting 11-0, this player did not lose a game until they got to this top 4 position. 13-0 until they lost. An incredible, incredible record. Playing a bunch of fun supporters, Worker, Miriam, Clara, 3 copies of Judge, getting the Gardevoir up and running, being able to use Trade over and over again, Refinement, 3 copies of Rare Candy, Fog Crystal, a lot of very fun cards, Emergency Jelly, 1 copy of Celebrations Mew, to dig a little bit in the early game, find those VIP passes on turn 1. A card that I really like is the VIP pass plus Celebrations Mew combination. Not much to say, but if the early setup doesn't go your way, I think you are starved because supporters are lacking in this format. But yeah. Then we had one of the top 8 lists in the form of Single Strike Lugia, playing a Single Strike Yveltal over here as well, with the 2 Tyranitars, the 2 Stone Jordaners, the 2 Luminions, kind of the stock standard staple. 5 different Single Strike energies with the 4 regular extra damage ones, and 1 rainbow one that Single Strike has. The Radiant Serena to heal your Pokemon by 20 across the board. 3 copies of the Messagoza Village, City, whatever it's called, to get basic Pokemon into play. Because you don't really have a way to find basic Pokemon. Like, you don't have Quick Balls anymore, so you can't really find your attackers as easy. So you're relying on Messagoza and capturing Aroma to kind of go your way. Your Ultra Balls are more likely going to be dedicated towards the Archeopsis and the Lugia V-Stars, finding those pieces. 3 copies of Research, a little bit interesting with 2 copies of Judge. I don't really know how much you want to judge, but I guess you don't want to discard energies a lot of the time. Gift energies being in the deck as well. Gift, Regenerative, and V-Guard taking the place of some of the other energies that have been, so far in the deck. So Burnett, I think, becomes a staple in this format because you need to have Burnett to discard cards. If you don't, I think you'll lose games. But yeah. Then we have another Lost Box iteration that made top 8, I believe. This one is a little more similar to the one that won, with 2 copies of Vacuum, 2 copies of Forest Seal Stone, the Dragonite, the Raikou, Lumineon, Drapion. Drapion being in almost every deck is pretty ridiculous, but I do think Mew is very powerful, so you need to answer it in some regard. Yeah, no, I think this is very stock standard, nothing crazy to write home about. And then we have another single strike. This one made top 16, so these last 2 lists are top 16 lists. So they didn't make it past the first stage of bracket. Seeing ourselves with the Lugia deck once again, playing different arts of every single card, which is a little bit crazy. 3 Lugias, different Lugia arts here, different research arts. Well, I guess it starts evening out. But Burnett and a Judge, it looks like he's behind the Burnett. 3 copies of DTE. We see Lucky Energy making its way into this list. I think Lucky Energy is really good because once you have the attack into it, you get some free draws. So that can really help out Lugia to find those pieces that might be missing. Only 1 copy of Stonejourner, but doubling down on the Tyranitar. I think Tyranitar as a 2-of is kind of a must. It's one of your main attackers now. But I think you do want still 1-2 Stonejourners in the deck. 3 Urn of Vitality to recycle those single strike energies that are so good. Aroma, once again, being a staple in the deck. It sucks that you have to rely on a coin flip, but it is what it is. And then finally, we have Arceus, Giratina, Flying Pika, which also made top 16. Arceus, Tina, I think could be a really cool combination, or like a concept. Obviously, Arceus going first is very powerful because you have Starbirth, being able to just set up whatever attacker you want. I guess Path Judge is not as powerful as Path Marnie, but you can still utilize some sort of combo. This list only playing 1 Path and 1 Collapse Stadium. Collapse, I think, acting more as a pseudo heal than anything to get either bump an Arceus or bump a Tina or even a Pikachu. I don't really know why Pikachu is good in this format, Flying Pikachu, but I guess you're decent against Miraidon decks. You're decent against Lost Box stuff, but like I think Pikachu without Parasol is not as strong anymore. We see Barrel making its way into the format again. Radiant Gardevoir being very, very strong for decks like this. Can also utilize... Oh, no, I think Big Charm is gone out of the format, so that is a problem. Only 1 copy of Choice Belt. I feel like you want another at least, just to increase your damage output somewhere. Maybe a Howlucha, just to pump a little bit more damage onto the board as well. Just a way to close out these big knockouts and some things could be really useful. There's no powerful energy anymore, so Arceus does struggle a little bit, but I think 230 could be a really good number with Arceus. 310 a really good number for Giratina. Pika is just Pika. I really don't like the Pika in this deck, but I think Arctina as a deck could be really strong. Like killing the Pika opens up so many slots for you to play the game in a different capacity. So I don't know. I just like that being removed. But that is some of the top 16 lists that we've seen here from Taiwan. Seeing Arctina Pika, Flying Pika, Mew VMAX, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 Lost Zone boxes, and I have to assume there's more. A couple single strike. Lugia's 1, 2, 3. 1 Klefki Miraidon with the list not published yet. We're going to try to get those on this channel as quickly as possible. Shout out to Cora. Check out her Twitter. I believe it's just... Let me pull it up for you guys. Okay, it didn't come up. But check out Cora's Twitter. Check out Deadly B. And join our lovely Discord. There's a lot of conversation about the Japanese format and moving forward, so you guys can get educated very quickly and basically put yourself up to speed as quickly as possible. So thank you for watching. I appreciate all of the support as always. Please like and subscribe. Until next time.